In a world ruled by pirates, there's one man that even the strongest criminals fear crossing paths with, the hero of the Marines, Monkey D. Garp, a savior to civilians but a nightmare to pirates. Garp is widely considered not only the strongest Marine of his generation, but potentially the strongest in history. During his prime, Garp captured countless infamous pirates, and not just nameless fodder, but monsters who stood at the very top of the food chain. Together with Sengoku, Garp managed to defeat and capture Shiki, the Golden Lion himself, a pirate powerful enough to rival even the Pirate King. And he was no ordinary enemy. Shiki possessed the power of the float flute, allowing him to levitate entire islands and even create floating nations in the sky. He was also one of the strongest members of the legendary Rocks Pirates, a crew infamous for its brutality, chaos, and overwhelming strength. This was the same crew that once included future emperors like Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido. To be considered one of the top members of that crew was already a testament to Shiki's terrifying power, yet even someone like him eventually fell to Garp. And somehow that still wasn't Garp's most insane feat. One of Garp's lesser known but absolutely absurd moments was his battle against Don Chinchao. Chinchao possessed both armament and conqueror's haki, alongside a legendary drill-shaped head powerful enough to split an entire ice continent. People compared this head to a mountain because of its near invulnerability. But mountains meant nothing to Garp. To prepare for that battle, Garp abandoned his battleship bags and began punching mountains instead. And after all the training, Garp flattened Chinchao's head with a single punch. But perhaps the greatest testament to Garp's power was the God Valley incident. This was the moment where the world caught a glimpse of how terrifying Garp really was. During the chaos of God Valley, Garp rampaged through hordes of pirates while pursuing both Roger and Sebek. Standing in his way were three future emperors, Kaido, Big Mom, and Whitebeard. Despite their overwhelming power, these monsters chose not to confront Garp head-on, not because they were weak, but because they understood exactly how dangerous Garp was. They knew defeating him would require an enormous amount of effort and likely leave them severely weakened. In an attempt to slow him down, Big Mom unleashed a massive fire attack directly at Garp, but Garp walked through it completely unharmed. But the true climax of God Valley came when Garp and Roger joined forces against Rox himself. At that time, Rax was considered the most dangerous pirate in the world, a man so powerful that even the world government feared his existence. And according to many theories and interpretations, the version of Rax they fought may have been enhanced or influenced by Inu's power, making him potentially one of the strongest beings in One Piece history outside of Joy Boy and Inu themselves. To defeat him, Garp and Roger combined their strongest haki attacks into one final clash that created an explosion so devastating it shook God Valley itself. And even after all these years, even in old age, Garp never stopped being a monster. When Kobe captured by the Blackbeard pirates, Garp personally led a rescue mission straight into Pirate Island, the heart of the Blackbeard's territory. And what followed was pure destruction. During the raid, Garp one-shotted San Juan Wolf, a giant large enough to tower over entire cities. He obliterated buildings and crushed Abalo Pizarro using his galaxy attack, which created an explosion that resembled miniature nuclear explosions. He even managed to overpower and temporarily incapacitate former Admiral Kusan during the battle. Kusan's ice powers were practically useless against Garp's overwhelming haki and speed, with Garp eventually blitzing him into the ground using Blue Hole. But even monsters can bleed. While protecting Kobe, Garp was stabbed by Shiryu in a surprise attack. Yet despite the wound, Garp kept fighting, and it ultimately took nearly every Blackbeard commander present on the island just to bring the old hero down. And honestly, if Garp had been just a few years younger, or if he hadn't been wounded protecting others, there's a real possibility he could have destroyed Pirate Island entirely, because in the end, there was never truly a pirate strong enough to stop Monkey D. Garp, only time itself.